By the grace of Lord Sri Hari and with the blessings of our beloved Sadguru Maharaj, His Holiness Maharanyam Sri Sri Muralidhara Swamiji, we attempt to showcase through this unique Navaratri Golu the greatness of Sage Narada as retold by scriptures and Sri Swamiji's discourses. Who is Narada? Narada is the mind-born son of Lord Brahma. According to Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana, in the beginning, the Lord alone existed. No one else, nothing else. Then, when he desired to create, he created the subtle principles, the tattvas. Then, from his navel came Lord Brahma. Using the various tattvas, Brahma was responsible for the entire gross creation. Lord Brahma, taking the Rajasa nature, created the 9 rishis: Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Brighu, Vasishta and Daksha. These 9 rishis are responsible for our entire creation. Eventually, as the 10th, Brahma created our Narada. Thus, Narada was a Deva Rishi who travelled across the 3 worlds and propagates bhakti or devotion through Nama Sankirtan, singing the names of the Lord. Narada is often associated with bhakti or devotion. He is said to have given the Narada Bhakti Sutras. How did Narada get bhakti? This is a story recounted by Narada himself to Sage Vyasa in Bhagavata Purana. In his previous birth, Narada was born as a son of a maidservant in a village. When he was only 5 years old, a few sadhus visited the village for Chaturmasya to stay there for 4 months, and Narada's mother was employed in their service. The 5-year-old boy would often spend time in the presence of the holy men. One day, it was past midday, when Narada's mother was late to attend to her child, and the child was extremely hungry. With the consent of the holy men, the child partook of the remnants of the food that had been consumed by the holy men. As soon as he ate the uchishta or the prasadam of the sadhus, an inner transformation set in. He quit his regular activities and started involving himself with them in singing bhajans, listening to the divine stories of the Lord, and so on. This gave him strong dispassion and love for God. While the sadhus left the village in 4 months, Narada's devotion and dispassion grew so much that when his mother one night died, having been bitten by a snake, he thought of it as nothing but merely the grace of the Lord. He set out towards the northern direction, and in a desolated forest, under a peepal tree, sat in meditation. In intense, love-filled meditation, he realized the astonishing divine form of the Lord in his heart. But only for a moment, the form instantly disappeared, and the young boy frantically searched for the form that he just lost. When suddenly a voice was heard from the sky. "Oh, my dear son, you are not mature enough in your sadhanas. You have come through a shortcut, the shortcut of a satsanga, sadhu sangha, and hence I give my realization to you in a flash. You will not see any more of this in this birth. However, you shall be born as the son of Brahma in your next birth." Elated, Narada waited for his body to fall on its own and got a divine form. After the great deluge, he was born as Narada, Brahma's son, and in this birth, did the Lord show himself in Narada's heart? "Oh," Narada says, As if I called him, he remains in my heart all the time now that I do bhajana, smiles Narada. The word Narada itself means the one who gives Lord Narayana. He is the supreme guru who is an epitome of bhakti or devotion. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord himself gave Srimad Bhagavatam to Brahma. This was given in the form of 7 shlokas known as Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Narada approaches his father Brahma and seeks answers to his questions about creation and Brahma's role. Brahma gave the highlights of Srimad Bhagavatam to Narada in 53 shlokas and asked him to expand it in a manner that invokes bhakti in the heart of people who listen to it. Narada, in turn, inspired Sage Vyasacharya. When Sage Vyasa was distressed, even after cataloguing the Vedas and authoring the Puranas and Mahabharata, Narada inspired him to write Bhagavatam that would give him peace of mind and eternal bliss. Sage Vyasa wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, which is available to us in 18,000 shlokas. Sage Shuka, the son of Sage Vyasa and a realized soul, learnt by heart Srimad Bhagavatam from his father and guru, Sage Vyasa, in an authentic manner, shloka by shloka, word by word. And Sage Shuka gave Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit, the king from the clan of the Pandavas, in the banks of the Ganges. Here is a story where Narada shows how bhakti, jnana and vairagya, devotion, knowledge and dispassion rise in the hearts of people the moment they listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. It was the advent of Kali Yuga when Narada was touring the earth. He visited various shrines, pilgrimage places and holy rivers, but discovered many of these have lost their sanctity in Kali Yuga. He eventually reaches Vrindavana, where he meets Bhakti Devi and her 2 frail and aged children, Jnana and Vairagya. The children have swooned thanks to the ill effects of Kali Yuga. Bhakti Devi was able to recoup because she came to Sri Vrindavana. Bhakti Devi surrenders unto Narada and requests him to rescue her children Jnana and Vairagya. Narada chants various different scriptures, the Vedas, the Vedanta and even the Bhagavad Gita. The 2 children rise up momentarily, but again fall down. When Narada tries to find a permanent cure to this plight of the 2 children, he meets the 4 Sanat Kumaras. The Sanat Kumaras advise that a Bhagavata Saptaham, the rendition of Bhagavatam over 7 days, is the solution. Narada requests them to perform one. So, a place called Anandam, the banks of the river Ganga, is selected, and the Sanat Kumaras begin the Bhagavata Saptaha. While everyone is invited for it, the Sanat Kumaras start speaking about the greatness of Bhagavatam. Even as the Bhagavata Mahatmya is narrated, Jnana and Vairagya not only rise but jump and dance in joy in divine ecstasy, singing Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Natha Narayana Vasudeva. Brahma, who presides over, requests Bhakti along with her sons Jnana and Vairagya to sit in the hearts of the listeners. Thus, Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya instantly blossom in the hearts of anyone who listens to Srimad Bhagavatam thanks to our beloved Narada. Dhruva, the pole star, is known for his staunch penance. But Dhruva would swear that none of it is his doing, and it's all his Guru Narada's work. 5-year-old Dhruva, the son of Uttanapada, is angry due to the ill treatment meted out by his stepmother Suruchi. His mother Suniti is helpless too, and the boy goes to the forest to see the Lord. In the forest, he is confronted by Narada, who comes as his guru, meeting the earnest soul in person at the right time. The guru streamlines the boy's emotions, tames his anger, and resets his spiritual aspirations for good. The guru teaches him how, where, and what to pray. Dhruva offers him a garland of lotuses. Narada discourses on the fine aspects of goodness and godliness. He initiates and guides the little Dhruva and asks him to go to Madhuvana. Not just that, he removes the obstacles in the spiritual path of his disciple. With Guru's grace, Dhruva performed intense penance, and the Lord in Vaikuntha desired to see him. He flew down and met with his beloved servant Dhruva and blessed him. Dhruva is a standing example to the grace and work of the exemplary Guru Narada, who, for the good of the entire world, roams about like the sun playing his veena. Dhruva still enjoys satsanga today as the pole star. For those in spiritual path, God realization is no easy joke. But not for those whom Narada picks as his disciples. Not for Prahlada, to say the least. When Hiranyakashipu, the fierce demon, went to the Mandara mountains to perform penance to avenge his brother's killer Vishnu, Kayadu, his wife, was bearing a child in her womb. Fearing hurt by Indra, Narada took her to his ashrama. He would talk hours together to the child in the womb on the supreme truth. Even though the mother felt asleep, the child in the womb would listen. This was Prahlada, the Garbhasriman, who was enlightened by Narada even while in the womb. Narada instilled knowledge, love and dispassion to Prahlada even while he was a fetus. When the Lord descended down as Narasimha to kill Hiranyakashipu, Prahlada only prays for eternal service unto his Guru Narada, whose sole job is to rescue the soul fallen into the bottomless pit of transmigration because of likes and dislikes, and not expect anything in return. That's the true Guru. The Guru comes in the life of a soul to provide him with a path to realization. If the disciple is earnest in his quest for spiritual knowledge and discipline, the Guru comes again, this time to use him to take others ashore. Ratnakar, a dacoit, had an epiphany of sorts. His victim was none other than Narada today, who was wearing precious jewel. Narada said Ratnakara had to undergo the results of his sin that he accrued too. Ratnakara realized his wrongdoing and begged for pardon. Narada's compassion was boundless. He gave him the most precious jewel, the jewel of Ramanama, and also the perseverance to chant it incessantly. Continuous chanting of the Ramanama, or should we say the Maharanyam, transformed Ratnakar into a sage Valmiki, who persevered in his chant unmindful of anthills growing around him. Now Sage Valmiki was in confusion. Is there a human being on earth with all virtues and no vices? Narada came by. He was asked the question by the sage, and Narada said, yes. Narada continued. He went on to speak about not only the virtues of Rama, but the entire life story of Lord Rama. With this inspiration, Valmiki wrote the Ramayana, an epic of 24,000 verses the first ever work composed by a human being. Thanks to Narada, we got Ramayana as well. Narada is often perceived as a troublemonger. Tales are rife stating how his presence in a place causes calamity to the host. The story of Narada's divine mango is well known. The story where he takes it to Lord Shiva and creates apparently a fight between Lord Kartikeya and Ganesha about who goes around the world first. Contrary to the popular belief that Narada is always a troublemonger, indeed, Narada's presence provides with a spiritual solution to a quandary. His actions always confer auspiciousness on everyone. An epitome of humility that Narada is, he takes the blame of being a troublemonger and bestows benedictions of sorts. The story of the mango has a second part to it, which is often skipped by tale tellers. It shows the greatness of the divine name Rama. Here's the second part. The compassionate Lord Shiva felt sorry for Muruga. He held yet another contest. Whoever goes around the universe thrice this time shall be the head of all my minions, my Ganas, Shiva said. Kartikeya now swiftly jumped on his peacock and went around his parents. Ganesha, however, was more agile. The divine name Rama has everything within the entire universe too, he thought. He quickly scribbled Rama on the sand and went around it thrice. A shout out to Ganesha, please. He just became Ganesha and Ganapati, the leader of all Shiva's minions. Narada is inevitable in any play of the Lord. Can he be left behind in Krishna Leela? Of course not. Narada was instrumental in warning Kamsa about Devaki's 6 children being risked to Kamsa, thereby ensuring Krishna's timely birth. He appears frequently during Krishna's descent to ensure that the divine plan of Krishna is executed flawlessly. The most prominent among them being the Damodara Leela. Way back in the hill slopes of Kailash, the 2 sons of Kubera, Nalakobura and Manigriva, were reveling in lust and intoxication, not paying attention even to Narada's sudden arrival there. Compassionate that Narada was, he looked at these 2 young men and cursed them that they would be born as Arjuna trees. But was it a curse? No, it was a boon, because he asked them to be born as Arjuna trees in Krishna's backyard in Gokula and said that Krishna would come and redeem by his touch. During his childhood, Krishna once broke a pot of butter and Mother Yashoda was red with anger. She wanted to punish Krishna and chased him. Seeing Yashoda visibly tired chasing him, Krishna gave in. Yashoda caught hold of Krishna and tied him to a mortar. Thanks to Krishna's trick, the rope fell short every time, but eventually she succeeded. The 2 Arjuna trees in the backyard were waiting. And while Krishna dagged his mortar in between the trees to redeem them, told them that he had to do all of this just for the sake of Narada. It was his duty to make the words of Narada come true. In Krishna's own words, when one happens to even see such a sadhu, he gets liberated from the cycle of births and deaths. Just like darkness vanishes on merely seeing the sun, does it not? The greatness of Narada being spoken about by none other than Lord Krishna himself. Narada is the supreme redeemer in Kali Yuga as well. This is the story from an Upanishad called as the Kali Santarana Upanishad from Krishna Yajurveda. It says, in the end of Dwapara Yuga, Narada met his dad Brahma and asked him what is the best spiritual practice to follow to obliterate the ill effects of Kali. Lord Brahma gave him the Mahamantra, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The divine name with no rules, and said that incessant chanting of it would bestow all auspiciousness. This is Kalisantarana Upanishad. Narada himself leads by example by continuously performing Nama Sankirtan. Not only that, he descends down time and again as Saint Purandaradasa, as Tyagaraja Swamigal's divine Guru, and innumerable Mahatmas. Any true Guru that gives the divine name to the earnest soul is indeed Sage Narada's incarnation. As we end this presentation, in gratitude to Narada, in gratitude to our Sadguru, in gratitude to Krishna, let us for once chant
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.